episode of Cooking Together Generations. We're back in Tom's kitchen per usual. We barely survived last week's episode, so we decided no tequila this week. This week we're going to be making some comfort food. We're going to be making my great-grandma's chicken, which is one of our favorite recipes in our family. It's delicious, it's easy, great for a family get-together. And then we're going to be doing some blistered tomatoes, which is a new fun recipe that my grandpa has come up with. So we're going to jump right in and get started. I have got our chicken here in a bag, and we have pounded it down. And the reason we pound down the chicken is because we want it to cook evenly in the oven. So we've given that a good pound. I'll give it one good one just for you guys, just for the audience. There we go. Just like that. That's how you do it. And the trick to this is you can keep your old cereal bags or your butcher paper, which you saved some of that as well. And all you have to do is wrap it up in there, and you can flatten it inside one of those. Makes it a lot easier. Cleanup's easier. So we're gonna pull that out. Get that started. Get that bag here. So what we've got here is I've got 2 egg whites in a bowl with 1 tablespoon water. We're going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice to this as well. And that's going to be our coating for the chicken here. Oh, come on. I think I can get just what I need out of there. There we go. So we're going to mix that up, get that all swirled around. That's going to be the coating, like I said. And then in this bowl over here, we have got some Ritz crackers, which is what my great-grandma always used. So you can, of course, go off-brand, but we just think these taste the best. And then I've got some Italian seasoning. You can absolutely use fresh herbs. We just wanted to do a little semi-homemade today, so we did some Italian seasoning, about a teaspoon of that. And we're just going to put our chicken in, coat it in the egg white mixture here. And then into the crackers. Make sure you really push it down into the crackers to get it fully coated. Otherwise, you'll have some empty spots. There we go. And I always forget my salt and pepper. I always forget. Don't forget your salt and pepper. So I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on this other one. Make sure it is seasoned correctly. Whoops.
You still put it on the other one if you want.
Yeah, it's always fun to add it
Because we
afterwards.
might have to eat that afterwards.
Maybe.
What do you mean might have to?
We might eat it. I don't know. We'll see how we feel. On both sides. Alright. Into the egg white mixture. Breadcrumbs here. You can always help out by coating it, get your fingers in there, and don't feel like you have to work against, just get messy. There we go. And I said this is about a cup of Ritz crackers in here, to your teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Put these on a plate here. We are going to get these over to my dad to start cooking.
All right. Thanks, Amanda. All right. I've got an easy job today. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little olive oil. These are great containers, too, by the way. You can go to your dollar store or any of your retail stores and buy these little containers, put your oil in it, label them, and everything. So I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil in the pan, a couple teaspoons there. I like to mix in a little veggie oil, vegetable oil, just to cut the burn factor on the olive oil. Olive oil gets a lot hotter than the vegetable oil. So we're going to bring that up, swirl around in the bottom of our pan. We're going to get that hot to on a medium heat probably, or a little higher. We're only going to brown these for about 30 seconds to a minute on each side. So we'll get that hot. I do a little trick. I like to let the skillet heat up, let the oil heat up. And then I always like to grab a little bit of the crust off the top, a piece, and I will just kind of sprinkle it in. And you can start to see if it starts to sizzle right away when I drop it in. That's a pretty good indicator that the oil is hot enough for me to put the chicken breasts in. So we're going to do that. And it looks like we're pretty close, so we're going to grab our chicken breast. And we are just going to drop that into the skillet. Okay? You don't have to be exact 30 seconds. You can set a timer if you like, just to do it, because we are going to put these in the oven as soon as we get them browned up on each side. So we'll get those. We'll go about 30 seconds on each side. Try not to touch them. I'm a good one to fiddle. It's hard for me to wait. But in order to get a good brown and to make sure that the crust doesn't come off, you really don't want to touch these while they're browning up, because the more you move it, the more you get the coating soggy, and it tends to come off when you get ready to do. But you can see that I'm getting a good fry here on those. And I like to move the oil now around, because sometimes if you don't get enough in, it soaks up into the coating, and you just don't quite get the sear that you want on it. So, but again, I've got this on about medium to medium high heat. And again, I'm just going to peek. And again, I got about 30 more seconds to go here on that one. And Amanda hit on it earlier. The reason that she pounded them is to try to even out the chicken breast to one level platform, so that it cooks evenly across the board. So, all right, I think these are about ready to flip. So you can see I just got a light brown on there, on that one, and again on this one as well. And I got the funky, there we go.
Yeah, that's an awkward.
It's really awkward. I don't have my normal tongs at home, but you can see we're going to get a light brown on both of those. While those are browning up, we're going to put these in the oven. So I'm going to take a little non-stick cooking spray, and I'm just going to coat my my pan with a little non-stick cooking spray. We're going to get those all browned up, and it does smell good, doesn't it? So, and while I'm waiting, now I'm going to have a little iced tea. I know you guys think that might be a little bit light for iced tea, but it is iced tea.
He's lying, it's scotch.
We said no liquor today.
No liquor today. No, that's actually, I made fresh spearmint tea before I came down to the house today. Okay, so now that we get those all browned up on each side, we're going to take them, a little excess grease off of there. We're going to drop them onto our cooking sheet. There. And we are going to shred a little bit of Parmesan cheese on the top. And again, if you've watched previous episodes, you know we like our cheese. So I like to get a nice coating of the Parmesan cheese on here. Makes a nice crust on top. Yeah.
Is that enough cheese, Marcia?
Yeah, that's enough.
You think that's enough? There we go. Okay, so I've got my Parmesan cheese on top. I'm going to take my pan. I'm going to slide it into the magic oven. Okay. And oh, hey, look at that.
All done.
All done.
That one piece of chicken really cooked down.
Yeah, those look really, really good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to the side. I'm going to move to the side. I'm going to take these over here.
How long do you leave them in the oven?
About 10 or 15 minutes. 15 minutes at 400 degrees.
That's a thin piece.
It's a thin piece of chicken. I did it at 10, and they came out just perfect. Perfectly juicy, perfectly crusty on the outside. There's my iced tea coming back. I'm going to let these rest, and we're going to move it over to Tom over there on the stove, and he's going to do the blistered tomatoes. I'm going to let these set for a second, and then we'll come back to me.
Talk about your...
So, before he gets started, I wanted to let you know, because we're going to cut this chicken here in a little bit, and I don't want you to be grossed out. What I did while you were watching him cook was I took a little bleach water and a towel, and we just wiped down this wood cutting board, which is the best way to clean your cutting boards, is with a little bleach water, wipe it down. That way you get rid of all those raw meat juices. You can also use lemon juice. which works really well. But if you really want to get rid of all that nasty crap, we want to make sure that you use some bleach water. That way we don't give our lovely guest Marcia any food poisoning.
And she's thankful for that. So
I sure am.
Now, our neighbor Marcia's back again. She couldn't stand it. The food was so good the first time she came back again. I'm going to do a new recipe I did this week. So you have to excuse me. I wrote it down and I wrote it down again and then I changed it. So I'm going to kind of read it here as we go through it because I've only done this once and like I say, I've changed it twice since I did it. Like Brock, I'm heating up some vegetable oil and some olive oil. The reason that I'm using the vegetable oils, I want the olive oil taste, but if I use it all olive oil, the olive oil might burn. So I mixed it with a little vegetable oil so that it'll take a little higher temperature. I want to get that oil heated up. What I've got here is about 24 ounces of cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, or pear tomatoes, whatever you want to call them. There's 3 different kinds, but they're basically the same thing, the small tomato. And what we're going to do is, we got this oil going. I'm going to put a little garlic in it because I want to season this oil. And it's just starting to go, and a little oregano. Whoa! Good, that's what we want. Okay, we're going to season that oil before we put these tomatoes in. And let that oil just season up there a little bit. And we'll just push this around with these here. Just season that oil. Because what we're probably going to do here is take these out here when we think our oil is. Yeah, that's getting. See how the garlic's just starting to brown? We don't want to burn it. We don't want that stuff in there to be burned. So we're going to pull that out.
So you're just seasoning the oil.
I'm just seasoning the oil with a little garlic and oregano. Now we're ready. Now, one of the things you'll learn, you saw it pop when I put the oregano in. When you put the tomatoes in, you want to make sure you get them as dry as you can. I rinsed these, dried. You notice I had paper towel in there to absorb the moisture. Now these are still going to pop, but you're going to cut down because we don't have as much moisture, hopefully. There we go. Blistered tomatoes. They're blistering. Now, when I did this the first time, I did it too long. So we're only going to do these. No, I'm looking at the clock here. We'll do them 4 or 5 minutes. So why don't you guys introduce Marcia while we're doing this, and Brock's over there. I'm just going to keep stirring these for about 4 minutes, and then we're going to do something else with them. So.
All right. So we're going to cut up this chicken for Miss Marcia here, who we said is our neighbor in the neighborhood lady. We love her. She's family friend, too.
Yeah.
We've known each other forever. Get her stirred up.
all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this chicken up on a slight angle by us, good sized pieces, but so it's still manageable to eat. You're going to get a little bit of the crust coming off, but again, this chicken is just about the perfect temperature. I can touch it with my hands. Okay. Get this little piece out of there. That's what they call the chef snack. If it doesn't look pretty, I take it out as the chef snack. Alright. Now, a little trick I like to use is I cut the chicken. I'm going to slide my knife underneath like that. And I'm going to lay it on the plate. Yeah. Look at that. Fancy. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking,
More cheese.
more cheese, just a little bit of more cheese. And a piece of parsley here.
Well, what are you making, Tom? Is that going to be a gravy or?
No. This is just blistered tomatoes. This is just tomatoes. If he's done, we come back over. I'm about ready. They've been in there about 4 minutes. You can see they're just starting to blister and pop.
Oh, okay.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little wine. We'll just take it right from here. Oh, a couple tablespoons of white wine. Hey, there we go.
Oh no, that's wrong.
What?
Wrong ethnicity right there.
Got a fireman right here in case it catches on fire. Don't worry about it. That's what we want. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Smoke alarm goes off. We know we did it right.
Now, this is a ready for, give me a drum roll, a Tom's tip. Tom's tip. If they tell you you cook with alcohol, you burn it off, don't believe it. Not true. Take my word for it. The alcohol is still there. A certain portion of it. You don't cook it off. So now, we've done that. I'm going to give them just a dash of red pepper flakes. And one more little scoop here. And we're going to turn them off. Okay? And we're going to go with get them into our little bowl here. Okay. And now while they're, whoops, one got away. Well, that'll be for the cook. We have some feta cheese. Good feta cheese. We're going to sprinkle over the top.
Feta cheese. Feta cheese.
Feta cheese. If somebody's got some parsley for that, we'll chop parsley on top of that, and there you go. Blistered tomatoes.
Okay. Now, as Marsha pointed out, while I was hiding behind the scenes here, I was snacking on that little chef's piece that I laid out there. And see, Brian, anytime you touch the food, you want to make sure that you're washing your hands, keeping your hands clean, because again, we really don't want the guests to get sick. So now I've got 2 plates here, and we want to scoop that up and put a little bit on our plate.
Ahead.
That's too much.
It's all yours.
You're the expert at plating just now.
Yeah, you're
Okay. So there we go. We're just going to do a little here.
What we really need, what we really need is we got cooking experts, everything. We don't have dishwashing experts.
No dishwashing experts?
We got cameramen. We
You
got
seem pretty good at it, Grandpa. I don't know.
I'd like to ask a question.
Yes.
Sure.
When Grandma made this chicken, what did she serve with it?
She
I
served
don't
it.
think she had tomato. Did she serve a gravy?
No, she served it with she liked to serve it with mashed potatoes
Oh, well, yes.
and lots of Parmesan cheese
Yes.
on it, and Parmesan cheese in the mashed potatoes. And she always served it with a salad of some kind on the side. So
Okay.
basically you got a little different. We got blistered tomatoes rather than a salad.
Well, I
but
was just curious.
there you go.
You could serve it with a gravy. You could also
Yeah,
serve
I
this
I
on.
think that's too much.
Well, you don't have to eat it all.
Well, somebody else might.
Well,
We got 2 more.
we got
coming
2
in.
more coming out of the magic oven.
I would like a doggy bag.
We can give you a doggy bag. We can give you a doggy
my
bag.
You also could serve this with some pasta. You can put it on top of pasta, kind of like a chicken parm. And it actually does make great chicken parm.
I serve it with the chicken, with the Parmesan cheese, with the pasta, with just a little red sauce, just a little bit, or white sauce for the side.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
We like
Good.
it good. Yay! Try the tomatoes here, because this is new.
yeah, I'm going to try that.
They're gonna be hot. Because
Whoop, whoop, hot.
Uh-oh, cameraman hand.
Sometimes when you cut them out,
You could cut them up if you'd like. Would you like a little knife to cut those up with?
they're just a one bite.
Be careful.
I know, they're a little hot.
Now,
Not good.
the red tomatoes, the yellow tomatoes will be just a little sweeter than the red ones. So that's why I like to mix them.
I'll try one
But that's an attractive dish to serve very quick.
Yeah.
Again, it's something you can serve outside on the grill too. If you're grilling, just take your cast iron skillet out there and do it.
You're
on the grill.
gonna impress your friends with that one because it looks a lot
That's so
fancier.
simple to do, too,
Yeah.
the tomatoes. Just throw them in the...
Yep.
Yeah.
Just don't set your kitchen on fire.
Well, what happened this week?
Try
Everybody knows I cook, so when it gets to garden time, they keep bringing me stuff. And I had more cherry tomatoes and grape tomatoes in my refrigerator, so I got to do something with them. So I started playing around the other night and came up with this. So.
Looks good.
And then I looked online for them, and they call them, some of them on there they call blistered tomatoes with snow, and I think it's because they put the feta on. That's what I got from the internet when I went on there after I did my blistered tomatoes. Then I found people throw feta on them, so I threw feta on, called blistered tomatoes with snow.
That's
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thing.
Thanks.
We got a wrap.
We got a wrap.
Make sure to like us on Instagram, Facebook. You can subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We'd appreciate you liking the video. And of course, please make sure to go on and check out our new cookbook.
Okay.
You can save some money ordering it pre-publication right now. And if once we get to 100 sold cookbooks, we'd get matched $100. So your support would mean the world. Part of the proceeds go to breast cancer. So
Right. And we're close to the 100, real close. And the cookbook should. Don't make no promises. Yeah, I'll make a promise. It'll go to the printer by next Sunday or Monday. Right?
Sure.
Right. We're
Absolutely.
putting the pressure on. Okay.
Put the pressure on me. That's fine.
we're in the process of proofing. So everybody have a good one.
Keep cooking
Keep
together.
cooking together.
Cheers.
I don't have any more.
Pop the champagne. We made a hot day hit. Summer corn salad. Go watch our video. Subscribe. Let's get cooking. If you don't already grow your own basil and herbs, we highly suggest you start your own herb garden. It's the best way to kick your dishes up a notch.